How's it going, everybody? Today we are back and we are watching the Epic of Serena Part 1.
True.
Please enjoy your time.
Yes, this
If you want us to react to anything, put it down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and let's just get right into it.
Oh, okay.
Imagine
Bird.
what would happen if
It's a
you left a
bird.
type of bird,
Nice
for
bird.
example, finches, alone on a lush planet without predators for hundreds of millions of years. What kinds of incredible forms of life might evolve? If you consider that mammals grew from a few rodent-like species into elephants, whales, horses, bats, and primates in a
Okay,
much
correct.
shorter period after the extinction of the dinosaurs, you'll start to realize just how incredible things might get. This concept is the idea behind one of the most detailed speculative
Is that a
biology
giraffe?
projects ever created, Serina, the
True.
world of birds.
Oh,
This
Serena.
epic multi-million-year journey was created by Dylan Beta,
dang.
an incredible artist and writer, and I have links below where you can follow and support his
Dude, a
work.
penguin.
There's so much incredible detail
cool.
to this project, and I won't be able to cover it all in a single video. But for now, let's get started at the very beginning of the saga, with the introduction of life to the moon of Serena. The story
The moon?
begins when some force, perhaps aliens or advanced humans, places Earth life forms on the moon of Serena. Specifically, they put canaries into a
Oh, hell yeah.
terraformed
Just
ecosystem
canaries.
much
Cool,
like
bro.
Earth's.
Just
A few
canaries.
other species, including grasses, algae, flowering plants like sunflowers,
Algae.
tiny fish like guppies and swordtails, and insects like ants and crickets, are also left on the planet to create a sustainable
wild.
food source for the finches, which are the only significant
True.
land animals on this entire moon. And then the creators of this mysterious experiment depart, and evolution takes over.
They're like, I'm
The
out.
explosion in canary diversity is almost instantaneous. The artist speculates that lacking predators and with a near endless food supply, the population would skyrocket over the first 10,000 years.
100.
From here, early specialization emerges, with insect eaters, plant eaters, egg eaters, and seed eaters all becoming subtly different over the generations. In the sea, guppies and
fish.
swordtails grow
Yeah,
and
boy.
diversify.
the homie.
Over the next
That's me.
several million years, this period, which is called the hypostasine, sees
Okay.
small fish become larger and more streamlined, with hydrodynamics shaping them into familiar forms. Several million years in, and leafcutter ants have quickly proliferated, with their numbers reaching tens of billions. Soon, larger, flightless variants of canaries emerge to feed on
Those are
this
some
growing
massive
food
canaries,
source.
though.
As the sun rises
Oh,
10
for real?
million years into this grand experiment, a truly
think they'll
diverse
eat me?
ecosystem of different species
Oh,
no.
is forming. Here, the
depends.
thick-beaked axebills strut across the
They
plains,
think I'm a
near
worm.
the large womblers and long-legged ardgeese. Already, the moon of Serena
large
is a
womblers.
much different place from when these
I'll
birds
wobble,
first
wobble like a
arrived.
worm.
And from here,
I mean, would they
things will
fight each
only
other
get
after a certain amount of
stranger.
time of evolution?
11 million
They're no
years
longer
in,
like the
an
same
era
canaries
called
they
the
used to be.
tempestine begins,
Yeah.
marked by a steady cooling and an increase in arid environments. A region called the Northern Drylands comprises the largest temperate desert region on this moon, where all sorts of new species are
I
emerging.
forgot this is the moon that
It's
they're
now
talking
early
about.
spring here,
All
and
right.
a large and lithe ardgoose offshoot is strutting across the drylands, keeping an eye on fearsome descendants of the formerly herbivorous axebills called the skykes, which are now
the
sharp-billed
skykes.
omnivores. Nearby, one of the first true predators on Serena, the small falconary, hunts a songbird under
Oh,
the
wow.
branches of huge tree-like sunflower descendants. But below
Falconary?
them all, in a series of tunnels, an even more interesting dynamic is unfolding. These tunnels are made by an enormous lobster-like arthropod, which, despite
That'd
weighing
be-
as much as a
dude,
small
Larry the
cat, is in
lobster,
fact a
man, he's
cricket.
making
And
tunnels.
with it in its home
Larry
are
the
strange
lobster.
little birds called ground serens. They can't dig tunnels themselves, but make use of the friendly cricket's burrow to keep themselves safe, and in return act as lookouts. A very strange set of roommates indeed. As the tempestanic
cool.
era
Coexistence.
progresses, Serena continues to cool.
Yeah, this is a
In
cool
this changing
concept.
environment,
Yeah, I know.
the artist imagines one
That's
successful
interesting.
branch of ardgeese, called the vivus,
Oh,
is
dang.
on the path to a surprising yet useful adaptation, the birth of live young without requiring an egg. And in the coming
Oh,
ice
no.
age, this adaptation will prove vital to the branch's success.
Okay.
Away from the
Oh, shit, the
mainland,
ice age is
however,
going up.
the
That's
isolated
spooky.
Cryan Islands are not yet feeling the effects of the global cooling. Indeed, on these islands where food grows in abundance and predators are scarce, very different selective pressures are creating some of the largest and strangest species of birds so far. Reaching heights of over 10 feet or 3
Damn.
meters, the chub birds are huge offshoots
chub-
of
my man,
fishes
wings.
that don't resemble
Oh,
any
man,
other
so
birds
tiny,
on
dude.
Serina at this time. In this paradise,
feels
there's
bad.
simply nothing big
Lost his
enough
ability
on
to
these
fly.
islands to bother them.
Yeah,
In
he doesn't
time,
need
though,
it.
the islands change. The chub birds pass on, and in their place, an even stranger species of megafauna emerge.
Megafauna?
These are the snuffaloes.
The
Shaggy,
snuffaloes,
heavy-set
dude.
creatures almost the size of cattle, and with similar
Oh,
grazing
God.
behavior. The snuffaloes are so heavy, however, that they can't support their weight on their 2 feet alone, and must
That
also
then
rely
evolves
on
into
their
the
beak for
platypus.
balance, which has almost become a
Dang.
3rd foot. Inefficient? Perhaps, but there are few
That's
predators
actually
on these islands
wild.
that would make the snuffalo require speed. Save perhaps for one. The butcher raptor is an evolutionary newcomer and
butcher
not large
raptor
enough
looks
to seem
cool,
like
though,
a
I ain't gonna
threat to
lie.
something snuffalo-sized. But the butcher
Think
raptor
he'll eat
has
me?
something the snuffalo does
Everybody
not.
here will eat you.
Intelligence.
Oh.
Butcher raptors are quite possibly the smartest
Even the small
creatures
one?
Serena has yet to produce. Efficient pack hunters that
Oh.
can, in a group, take down something as big as a snuffalo. And in
Yeah,
the
they're pack
oceans,
hunters, man.
life
They'll
is
eat
also
you alive.
diversifying into unexpected
Oh.
forms. Take, for example, the sword sharks, predators whose swordtail ancestors average 6
Oh, they're
inches
about to
in
whip
length.
shot
The
someone
sword
with
shark,
that.
in contrast,
Right.
averages up to 8 feet and preys on vast shoals of smaller fish, thrashing them with their unique tails
It's like
to
the
stun
pincher
them.
bug.
An even more incredible
the fish world.
transformation has occurred in the case
Ew.
of the giant gemnus, a guest entry into Serena conceptualized by Joseph Cawley. The giant gemnus grows over 30 feet or 9
God.
meters in length and
looks like a
consumes
submarine.
over 400 pounds or 180
To think
kilos
this
of
used to
plant
be a
Black
guppy.
dot to the
and
windows.
yet the ancestors of these herbivorous behemoths are the tiny guppies.
It's the guppies.
Truly aquatic birds called balloons also emerged during the tempestine, like the starry pelicarrier, a species that incubates eggs under its hind
This is
legs
insane.
and carries its young
Oh my God, it's
safely in its
Nessie.
mouth. Right now, these early seafaring birds are far from the largest things in the ocean, about the size of a human diver.
Oh,
In
damn.
the
Okay,
future,
okay.
however, the circumstances for the balloons would change. However,
happened?
it's not
Is
the
that a frog?
balloons nor
Oh, is
even
that
the
a
giant
frog?
gemnus that one should be keeping an eye on long term.
That's like-
These tiny, unfortunate,
it's like a car
almost toad-looking
size bat.
creatures are called mud wickets. They're a
Mud
species of fish
wickets.
that lives in tidal areas and are
What are
beginning
these
the
names?
process of crawling onto land. Right now,
Yeah.
they're not up to much, but there are many millions of years to go in our great epic. Looking back on Serena's progress, 50 million years have now passed since the introduction
Damn.
of the Canaries, and the moon is now entering a
million.
period called the cryosine. The climate, already cooling in the tempestine, has now cooled further, and over half the moon's surface is locked in ice. In this new frontier, the live-bearing Vivus groups have come to dominate all manner of niches,
Yeah, that means
both
a
at the
certain group would have
equator
died
and
out.
in the colder regions. From large tropical shimmer snoot vivas who eat insects with their long tongues, to the lithe
That's
herbivorous
wild.
ceralopes and thick-beaked carnivorous banshees of the plains, to the tiny bumblets who burrow underground to
Bumblets.
keep warm,
What's
the
wrong with
vivas
those
have
one's
become
feathers?
one of the most diverse groups in this new world.
He's just lost
Another
the ability to
successful
fly.
vivus is the canaraboo, large, thick-coated
Canaraboo.
ceralopes that
Yeah.
live in
He's gonna
enormous
pull up,
migratory
bro.
herds and can withstand the
that.
harsh polar winters of this region. The canaraboo is the first true live-bearing bird, giving birth to fully hatched infants. Here, a mother
Okay.
protects its newborn from a
Oh.
giant falconary, aerial predators
Oh.
that have grown gigantic
So they
over
do
the
fight each
ages,
other.
but are not so large they're ready to tangle with an angry mother protecting its young. In the tall forests of pine flowers, plants which have evolved conifer-like needles, the more familiar descendants of egg-laying species hold on. In this more temperate region, the giant flightless anvilbeak, with a beak that helps it crack open all manner of
Anvil
seeds,
beak. That's
lives near
pretty
its
crazy,
cousins,
dude.
the
It's gonna slam
swordbills,
you.
who are lightweight hunters. These holdovers are distant descendants of the axebills, and in these forests, their lineage will endure despite the dropping temperatures. Another familiar, though increasingly strange species are the molebirds, the descendants of the
Molebirds.
burrowing finches who are now
That's the
capable
name
diggers
that
in
he
their own
gave 'em.
right. For millions of
Mole
years,
birds.
they've quietly tunneled underground,
Yo, those
content to be
potatoes.
ignored by the above-ground
Yeah.
megafauna.
Brandon with
Also
potatoes.
much changed since our last visit are the aquatic
is
blooms,
this?
which are now one of the
Ew.
most specialized
That's
lineages of birds on Serina. Growing to more than 60 feet or 18 meters
Looks
in
like that
length
one
and weighing
monster
up
from
to
Monster Hunter.
15,000 pounds or 6,800 kilograms. This is a family of gentle herbivorous leviathans, which the artist describes as the largest birds that have ever existed. And at the water's edge, the unassuming mudwickets have continued to
mudwickets are
adapt,
pog.
spending more and more time on land. They still don't look like much, but soon
I'll adopt a
circumstances will
mudwicket.
change.
Soon they will turn into
But the
humans.
time of the mudwickets
yes.
is not yet upon us. Jumping forwards to the late cryosine, the final period we'll be covering in this particular video, we've arrived at an age of giants.
Okay, we're at
On
the
the
giant
plains,
era.
one large offshoot of the ceralope are the flutterbox, colorful herbivores with a bright plumage
Look at
similar
her.
in many ways to the feathers of Earth's peacocks.
The peacocks are
flutterbox
crazy.
are in turn stalked by the dinosaur-like trunk snouts, whose newly
Trunk
evolved
snouts.
pseudoteeth make them
Snouts.
effective predators with a high degree of evolutionary
Those ones are
potential.
cool.
Even
It looks like
more
it's a mix of
dinosaur-like
everything.
Are the Serostriders, the largest terrestrial bird that is yet to evolve on Serina. Exceeding 12 meters or 40 feet in height
God.
and weighing several tons, the Serostriders are the sauropods of their day, adapted to
Dang.
browse the highest branches of
These are
trees.
the birds behind the bike.
But larger
I was you guys
herbivores
back in
mean
the day.
larger
Oop.
carnivores.
Oh.
The tyrant Serins, the grandest of all descendants of the
Birds on
distant
top of them are like
axe-bill,
wood chilling.
apex predators that can take
this
down
guy can
other
snap a
large
tree with his
megafauna.
jaw.
Equipped with serrated
Yeah.
beaks able to shatter bone, these tyrants
That
are the
thing will
heaviest
kill
land
you,
predators
dudes.
yet to evolve. This period is an early
Nah,
peak
I'm
of
a
That
megafauna
boy.
on Serina, which now
a
supports
furry.
species so large and distinct
My
they're
man's seen
almost
things.
unrecognizable when one reflects on the moon's first
Look at that
humble
boy.
inhabitants.
Chunky.
Over the
boy.
next several million
Chunky.
years, Serina would change once again, as an increase in volcanic eruptions
damn.
on a larger scale
Okay,
than
more
ever
gases going
before
into
would
the
turn the
atmosphere.
environment on its
Dang.
head, giving rise to far
Ew.
more
Oh,
alien-looking creatures than what
Straight out
we've
of
seen
Halo.
so far, which we'll explore
Love
in
that
our
hair.
next installment. But for
That's so
now, that's
creepy.
all the time we have. If you enjoyed
Nah,
learning
wait,
about the
bro.
moon of Serina, consider
this is
supporting and
interesting,
following
though.
Dylan Beta
It
using
really
the
is.
links
The
below.
canaries. Dude, the
Also,
canaries really
thanks for watching.
popped off.
If you enjoyed this entry, please lend your support and
Oh.
like, subscribe, and
I
hit
mean,
the notification icon
guess-
to stay up to date
I guess this
on
does
all
show
things
that it
curious.
depends
See you in the
on
next video.
The first type of animal that is able to evolve to many things.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
all like this imaginary stuff, but it's pretty cool
Yeah, yeah.
when
It's a crazy concept, and this guy just thought of all this. This is insane.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Honestly.
with just one bird.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, with the
And just-
canaries, yeah. I think it's pretty cool how it, like they evolved and they started killing each other
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because they're no longer like the same. It's Larry the Lobster again, my boy.
Hey, that boy.
Well, it's mostly because they're supposed to be a sort of ecosystem where it's a cycle where there has to be some carnivores.
Yeah, there has to be predators.
Oh yeah, there.
Has to be. Honestly, if there's no predators, no one would evolve.
They would just overpopulate mostly.
True.
Well, hey, look. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. You know what? If you want us to check out the second part of this, please comment down below.
Yep.
We'll probably check it out.
Like.
And if there's anything else you'd like for us to watch, comment that too, alright? We've been the Cranky Films. And, yeah. Stay cranky.